Hello dear tea friends from around the world. Welcome to a new tea class with me, Stéphane Erler. I'm the founder of the Tea Masters blog and the tea-masters.com tea boutique. I'm in Taiwan and able to visit the plantations and select the teas as soon as they are harvested. And today I want to tell you about the situation in the Wenshan Baozhong harvests of this spring. Now, before I start, maybe you have noticed that I have not added any Jinchuan from Alishan so far. Why is that? Actually, it's related to the situation in the north. In whole Taiwan, this winter there was very little rain, so we really are in another drought, like 1 or 2 years ago. And this drought really has caused the trees not to grow. If you don't have water, you are not able to grow and produce new leaves. And it was quite warm during this early season in the center of Taiwan. And without any water, no Jinchuan was able to be produced at all. So I called the farmer, when should I come to go and see your Jinchuan harvest? And at the end he said, don't come, because there's not going to be any harvest, at least not in our plantation in Zhuifeng in Alishan. So I did not go, and I could not add a new Jinchuan from Alishan so far. I hope that in the second harvest of the spring there will be enough water to have Alishan Jinchuan, but so far it was not possible. And we have the similar problem in the Wenshan area. We are in the north of Taiwan, a bit more lucky with rains. It rains a little bit more, but still it was very dry this winter and in early of spring, and the volume that have been harvested are really half of what they should normally be. I have a really long time relationship with my farmer in the Wenshan area, and I never saw him with such a grave and sad face. He told me, Stéphane, when the conditions are good and the tea is good, I will tell you, but because I know you for such a long time, this he did not say, but because I'm honest, when things are bad, I have to tell you also, this year has been really terrible, without enough rain, and also even rain at the wrong time. It started to rain during some harvest days, making the work even more difficult for the people who harvest and the people who produce the tea. So he said this year is really the really terrible situation, and we have much fewer teas to select from to try. This is going to make your job more difficult, and that's the message I got, and that's how I started to select my teas this year. I selected 5 teas, 6 different cultivars. This is a good thing about Wenshan and Baozhong in general, is that there is really a variety of cultivars. In the entry-level Baozhong, I have a mix of Jinchuan and Cui that does a good job. It's a bit similar in flavor profile to the subtropical forest, but at a lower price level, therefore it's a bit more simple, does not have the same length in aftertaste, but it's really a very nice entry-level Baozhong. And if there is no Jinchuan so far, this is really a very good alternative to for an everyday oolong that you can try. Then I have my subtropical forest. This one is made with cultivar 2028. It's a cultivar that was an experimental cultivar made at the same time as Jinchuan and Cui, but it continued to be used, and in Pinglin, in the Wenshan area, and it does a good job. And this year it made a pretty decent subtropical forest. And my feeling is that with lower volume, with fewer leaves that were harvested, and with these difficult conditions this year, with the quality of the leaves, the maker's skill really comes to shine. Those who know that trade, those who have a lot of experience, they know better how to work with these leaves and to get the best out of them. Having also fewer leaves gives them more time, more energy to focus on them. Sometimes when you have too many leaves, the makers can also get overwhelmed, even if the leaves are very good, but they have so many leaves to process that it's really a strain on them. With fewer leaves, the good ones, the good masters, were able to use their skills, have enough energy to use their skills to really get the most out of them. And therefore, if you did not know that this year had such difficult conditions for the farmers and for the plantations, actually it does not really come out in the leaves that I have selected. Of course, there were some that were really affected by the conditions, but those that were made, when they were made by a good master, then the result actually is still quite decent. And another Baozhong I selected is Faux Shou. That's a Buddha hand. I've had it in the past. Faux Shou Buddha hand actually is not a spiritual meaning or reference. Actually, it references to a fruit in the lemon orange family that looks like a hand with very large fingers. That's why it's called Faux Shou. And this tea in particular has very large leaves and also has a citrus smell, a lemony, zesty smell that is why it is referenced to this fruit for its name. So more for the smell than for its appearance. And there's another Baozhong I like that I often select. It's the lily flower Baozhong. Now this one has not appeared yet on the website because it was the last Baozhong to be harvested, because it's made with Qingxing oolong. And if you have some understanding of tea, Qingxing is more slow growth varietal that is harvested at the end of the season. And therefore it was harvested very recently, and it still needs to be dried one more time to be able to keep its flavors for the long term. And so I was already able to taste it. I liked it, but I will only be able to sell it once it has been dried and sent to me in my inventory. And this one is really very fine because it's made with Qingxing oolong, really also a very high grade cultivar, the same one that is used in Dongding oolong and also in Alishan or in Shanlinxi in the high mountains. So it's interesting to try this one because it has also a low oxidation, and then you can really see the impact both of the mountain and of the process, because it's the same cultivar as in the high mountains, but it's processed as Baozhong in the Wenshan area, both in spring. And of course I had the Qinyu Baozhong from Sanxia. This one already selected a couple of weeks ago. And the last Baozhong I selected is a roasted Wui cultivar Baozhong. This is the first time I have this Wui cultivar Baozhong. and roasted. Here it is. I've chosen to brew this tea now because it's already late, and the roasted Baozhong is a bit lighter in terms of caffeine, so it won't prevent me from sleeping. Oh, I forgot I already preheated the gaiwan. Let me empty it and start to make this Huizhong. So it's an unidentified cultivar. We know it's so the saying comes from it that it comes from Hui, and it's also very suitable for roasting. This one is from the year 2020. Already smells great. Very dark. Great roasted smells. And already some a nice some sour notes, very woody notes also, very dark roast. And wait a bit longer. In the meantime, please give me a thumbs up if you like the video, this kind of lessons every week. Give me a comment if you have some questions, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to ask questions, the best actually is to join me live on Facebook, and then I will answer your questions right away. Very beautiful, very transparent tea brew, very dark orange. You can see it, the nice dark orange tea brew of this really traditionally roasted Wenshan Baozhong made with a Hui cultivar, so an unidentified Hui cultivar, which is a good reminder that Baozhong is a Taiwanese name for a tea that was first invented or harvested in Nangang Mountain in the year 1881, 85. There are several stories about around that time, so in the 1880s. And so probably we are going to we are approaching almost 150 years of Baozhong. Nangang at that time used to be far away from Taipei. Nowadays you take the Blue Line MRT and you are the last station will be Nangang Exhibition Center. Of course the mountains for tea are still a bit farther after that train metro stop, but that's where it started. Baozhong refers to a way that the tea is packed in a sheet of paper, but the process actually is it's completely similar to Hui Yen Cha, just because it came from Taiwan. It was packed differently. So the people who made this tea, they started to use this different name to qualify it as Baozhong. So it's tea that is a process, not a cultivar. Sometimes your tea is like some long. So there are some teas that their names refer to the cultivar. This is not the case with Baozhong. it's you can make Baozhong with any type of cultivar almost. In Taiwan, most of the cultivars are suitable for oolong are also suitable for Baozhong, and that's why in the northern area where Baozhong started, that's why you find lots of different cultivars, different varieties of teas that that are made into Baozhong tea. So it's much more diverse than in the high mountains, where you can mostly only find Jinshuan until 1,200 meters, and above that it's almost 99% Qingxing oolong, because in these altitudes that's the only tea tree that is suitable for the high altitudes. But in the plains or in the now in the Wenshan area, Wenshan Baozhong was a newer name that only started to appear in the 1970s. Let me now also drink it. Very pleasant, very sweet, and you can see that the leaves have opened up completely. So this is not, despite the very strong roast, it starts to be a little bit coming closer to green, but despite the very strong roast, the leaves are still open up completely. Very few burnt smells, but a lot of sweetness and very sweet, harmonious. Compared to Ui, it has not this dry rock taste, but it has really the sweet note of the Taiwanese terroir. Of course, it can be even improved if you use Yixing teapot, but we are now in the spring in selection mode, so the Gai 1 is the best tool to try a tea for the first time and see if it has any defects. This one is really very smooth, very transparent. It's always, and a very nice colors. It's always a good sign of quality when the tea is very transparent. And well, I think this concludes my expose about this spring's situation in the Wenshan area. This week I'm going to Alishan, and I will try to select good Qingxing oolong. Apparently for the Qingxing cultivar, it's a smaller leaf, so it requires less water. And in the high mountains, the weather will be cooler. So we are so far the farmers I've contacted have told me that the harvest is going to go forward as planned this week. So I will go there this week and try to select the best possible oolongs from Alishan. And then next week I hope that I will have some good news to share with you about these teas. And in the meantime, I thank you for your attention, and I see you next week. Bye bye.